Home Depot, you just leave me speechless anymore. So let's review this lineup, guys. I need to talk about it right now.
It's the perfect night for some devious pranks.
Indeed! You do well to steer clear of the 7.5-foot animated trickster trio. These terrifying triplets have one thing in mind, and it isn't minding their own business. Their LED eyes glow a bright yellow, green, and red. The top terror is covered in sinister stripes, while the middle menace wears a punchy purple and gold. And the anchor antic is adorned in black and red. Be sure to watch your head as they goad you closer, swinging their heavy hammer, jaws open and closing with realistic motion.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
Hush! Enough jokes!
Philip. Philip who? Fill up my bag with candy.
Display each fearsome food separately for a carnival of coverage. Or stack them up high, one on top of the other, for maximum madness. However you handle this handful, you'd better give them what they want, or they'll make sure your fright night is an absolute smash!
Trick or treat!
The 7.5-foot animated trickster trio. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, and the first prop we have is the Trickster Trio Stack. And my opinion on it is it's okay. It's not the best prop from Home Depot this year. I would say it's pretty mid. I don't really like it because the design on it is not as good as I thought it would be. Because I thought this probably be actually pretty good, but it's kind of mid. The only movements that it has mouth movement on all three clowns, and the head moves up and down. It is 7.5 feet tall though, so that's pretty cool. And the cool thing about it is that you can take them apart, so that you can actually take them off each other, and then you could just place them around anywhere you want. So that's pretty cool. You can have them stacked or apart from each other. This animatronic is alright. I don't really like it, in my opinion. This guy will be retailing for $199. Alright guys, let's move on to the next animatronic.
Go ahead and shoot! I'll be back! I always come back!
Some scares stay with you for years. Everything else is just child's play. As they say, you just can't keep a good guy down. Friends, meet Chucky.
I have had it! That's it! There is a limit to how much I can take!
Standing 3.5 feet tall, this freckled relic of the 1980s is everyone's best friend and worst enemy. He may look innocent enough in his striped shirt and overalls, but play at your own risk. The 3.5-foot animated Chucky is motion sensor activated. His head and body start to move, and watch this blue-eyed brat come to life. Just like in the movies, watch in horror as the dead-eyed doll wakes and begins to move, blink, and speak.
As a doll, I'm infamous. I'm one of the most notorious slashers in history, and I don't want to give that up.
But the 3.5-foot animated Chucky doll isn't toying around.
I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it!
This Halloween, there's a new kid on the block. And he's only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, the next prop we have is the 3.5-foot animated Chucky. And this guy is probably one of my favorites from Home Depot. This guy is so unique, and he's probably one of the best props Home Depot has ever made. The eyes move, they blink, the mouth moves, the hand moves, the body moves, the head moves. There's so much movement on this prop, it's just incredible. And this guy is just so cool. I love that they did a licensed prop this year. And the cool thing about him is he has a built-in motor in his mouth that makes him smile. We've never seen that on animatronic, and Home Depot is just killing it with the motors and the freaking servos. It's just crazy. This guy is so cool and unique, and he will be retailing for $199. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Step right up. You! Yes, you! What are you waiting for? The circus is in town, and the enormous 8.5-foot animated Carnival Carl invites you to try your luck. With his huge hammer in hand, this startling sideshow appears more trick than treat. But he's just clowning around. Or is he? Trigger his motion sensor and you'll find out as he swings his hammer up and down, his painted jaw opening to speak.
You look strong. Why don't you come take a shot? If you lose, I'll just put you in place of the bell.
Powerful polka dots line his suit, while oversized hands and shoes fill out this killer clown. Red and white face paint cover his evil eyes and mouth. His head is finished by bold strands of red hair and a huge hat. See? It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt.
Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Which one of you will become my next foe?
Ha! The 8.5-foot animated Carnival Carl. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, and the next prop we have is the 8.5-foot Carnival Carl. And this guy is one of my favorites for this year also. This guy is so unique and so cool. The animation is so good on him. He looks so cool. His phrases are so good. Like, this guy is like one of my favorites. This guy looks amazing. The movement with the hammer, the mouth, the head, the body just makes this guy so cool. And I love tall props, and this guy is 8.5, which I love. The hat is big on him, which makes it look so unique and so cool. I love the hammer. It's just everything about this prop is just so cool and unique. And this guy we're retailing for $199. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Mortals, bear witness.
This Halloween, he will reap what he sows. Hovering high above the ground, the 12-foot animated levitating reaper surveys his earthly hunting ground, seeking fresh souls and bringing death from above.
You are merely ants in my game of death and destruction.
Enormous hands clutch an even bigger scythe and staff, while tattered black robes conceal this grim ghoul. Against the dark of night, this floating phantom emanates an array of colors. Let them cycle with time, or select your scare with the hue most horrifying. Catch his ageless, lifeless eye, and the 12-foot animated hovering reaper will tell you your fate. His head and jaw coming to life with realistic motion as he speaks.
You may attempt to flee, but the darkness shall swallow you whole.
This fright night, it's not the chill autumn air that cuts deepest. The 12-foot animated levitating reaper. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, and next is the 12.5-foot color-changing levitating reaper. And this guy is like my second favorite of the year. I love reaper props. I'm a big skeleton reaper fan. I love anything skeleton-wise, reaper-wise. I love the voices on reapers. I love the voices on skeletons. That's why one of my favorite props of all time is Grim. I just love reapers so much. And this guy is so incredible. I love the way that he's levitating on his sigil. It's just so cool. His scythe looks amazing too. It's just crazy. He has servo in his head. He just looks amazing. The colors on him are incredible. I love the clothing, the big hands. It just makes this prop look so unique and so well made. And this prop will be retailing for $2.99. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Come closer, weary traveler.
Lost, are we? Saddle up with Ireland's own nogginless nightmare. The 8.5-foot Knight Dullahan. In the crow-black night, his red LED eyes smolder like two hot coals. His menacing mouth and exposed chest radiate with rage. Rearing in excitement, this massive mare has glowing red eyes that give a ghoulish glow. Be the unfortunate one who captures their attention, and the two come alive. The horse's head moves up and down as its rider's arm swings wide. Head in hand, the horseman's jaw begins to move as he delivers one of 6 thrilling threats.
I'll give you a running start. I do enjoy the chase and earning my trophies. Time's up. Here I come.
If you're looking for a Halloween ride or die, you found it. The 8.5-foot Knight Dullahan. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright, next up is the 8.5-foot Knight Dullahan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. His name is a little hard to pronounce, but I think it's Knight Dullahan. And this guy is... I just love skeletons, man. This guy's also one of my favorites. Home Depot did so good this year. I love this guy so much. I love that they made another Headless Horseman, because the last Headless Horseman that we got was from like 2020, and that was like a while ago. So I love this guy so much. This guy is super well made. I love him so much. This guy, I'm just speechless of Home Depot this year. His movements are so great. He has the arm movement, the mouth movement, the face on the skeleton looks so good. The red chest with the light looks amazing. His clothing is so good. The horse has head movement, and the horse looks amazing too. I love how it's a skeleton, not a normal horse, so they did it like a little different this time, where they made a skeleton horse instead of a regular horse. The only thing I do wish is that the legs move on the horse. That's the only thing. Other than that, this guy is a really good and well-made prop. This guy will be retailing for $179. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
These! I've created life!
It's alive! But will you be so lucky? Better keep your distance from the 7-foot animated Frankenstein's monster. This not-so-gentle giant has broken out of the doctor's lab, and he's hell-bent on terrorizing the town one stiff step at a time.
Look out! Tie him up, quickly!
Under the glow of the moon, his frightening face radiates with blue LED light. Catch his blinking, motion-activated eyes, and the chase is on! His arms moving up and down, reaching for the nearest bone to break. From big bolts to even bigger boots, this living legend looms larger than life in a navy blue suit. It's a sight to behold, one that puts the mad back into mad science. And if he gets a grip on you, it may just be your last. The 7-foot animated Frankenstein's monster. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, next up is the 7-foot Frankenstein's monster. And this guy is a really good, well-made prop. I love that they made a Frankenstein monster. We haven't got a Frankenstein in forever. This guy is so well made. The movement on him is crazy. I know some people have him because you were able to pre-order him to the Halfway to Halloween surprise. But this guy is just incredible. I love the way he moves. The servo in his head is so good. The eye movement, the blinking, the hands. It's just a really good, well-made prop by Home Depot. I love this guy so much. This guy will be retailing for $279. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Turn my bones into sticks! That's what I get for testing spells on myself.
A sad tale, to be sure. The 6-foot animated marionette witch once had the world on a string. Now she plays puppet to an age-old curse. Stuck hanging from her sturdy wooden support structure, this woeful witch is desperate to cut loose. Trigger her motion sensor and she springs to life, begging and pleading, writhing on her fixed frame, as her pallid face and eyes fill with LED light.
Say, you look like you know some magic. Want to help a little old lady like me out?
Wavy silver strands frame her weathered face, while a tattered red sweater over battered black dress pair perfectly with her sinister striped socks and classic big buckled clogs. But be warned, this wicked witch has a few tricks up her strings.
Just say this little old incantation and we'll be switching bodies in no time!
The 6-foot animated marionette witch. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, next up is the 6-foot animated marionette witch. And this one I just don't like it at all. Because to me, it's a reskin of Bobby Strings. That's the only thing I have with it. Like, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, why would you make a prop, like a puppet of a witch? It doesn't really make sense to me a lot. I do like the wooden, like, stuff on it. I wish they would do that on Bobby Strings from Shared Halloween. But in my opinion, it's just a Bobby Strings remake from Home Depot. And this one is just, it looks cheap to me. I don't really like the movement on it. It's just probably like one of my least favorite of the year. It's just not like me. Like, I don't really like witches a lot. I was never really a big witch fan in my lifetime. I've never really liked witch. The only witch I like is the 10-foot witch from Party City. That's really like the only one I like. So this one to me is a little like a downfall. I don't really like it that much because I really think it is a reskin of Bobby Strings. But other than that, it will be retailing for $99, which is a really good price for it. I really do think it's a really good price for it. $99 for this is a great price. So, let's move on to the next animatronic.
What evil stirs in coffins, crypts, and the dark places where sunlight dare not creep?
Nosferatu.
Enter the lair of the 7-foot animated Victorian vampire. Arisen after more than 100 years in repose, the silver screen's most famous fanged fright has returned. With an appetite. His long, hungry teeth show the yellow of age, and his skin wrinkled and ravaged by countless nights, without so much as a bite or a drop to eat. And his hands are ready to claw for more crower and clots. Under bushy grey brows, his ancient eyes glow a brilliant gold, searching, yearning to taste the essence of youth incarnate.
Life shall fade into pallid shade as I sup upon your blood.
Welcome to your last meal, but you won't be the one eating. The 7-foot animated Victorian vampire. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, next up is the 7-foot animated Victorian vampire. And this one is such a cool prop. I love this guy a lot. This guy is like a boogeyman vampire. I love him so much. The mouth movement on him is great. The head movement, the body movement. This guy is just a well-made prop. And he's retailing for $199, which is a great price for him. Home Depot knows how to do prices. They just know, not like Spirit when they put $400 for Slim, but we don't talk about that. But This guy is such a well-made prop. Home Depot is just killing it this year. Their prices and their animatronics are so great. This guy, I love him so much. I can't wait to see him in person. And let's move on to the next animatronic.
The pestilence is here.
Come in. The doctor will see you now. Towering above even the healthiest specimens, the 7-foot animated LED plague doctor casts a shadow on all who cross its path. Its big beacon of blight and foul-boned staff fill a midnight dreary with bright LED light, and his distressed cinder goggles change colors, while the death-proof bird mask and tall, stiff collar illuminate the long black beak and wide-brimmed hat that are its signature. His strong gloves and big boots are blacker than the Great Death, while his brown satchel is a catch-all for powerful potions. Draw its omnipresent eye, and this frightening physician comes to life, promising more than just medicine.
There is evil here. I will rid you of it.
But perhaps the good doctor isn't all that good after all.
This lavender in my mask is barely covering your stench. Bring me the leeches!
The 7-foot animated LED plague doctor. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, next up is the 7-foot animated plague doctor. And this guy is my favorite of Home Depot's lineup. I love this guy so much. I hope they get this guy this year. I really like him. This guy is such a well-made plague doctor. I love plague doctors too. Ever since the Spirit one came out in 2020, the Static, I have always liked it, but I was never able to get it because it sold out. But this guy right here is such a cool prop. The animation on him is great. He has the head movement, the body movement, the lantern movement, and then his staff lunges at you, which I love that too. The LED on his clothing with the string of green, and then the eye LEDs are so good. I love this one so much more than the Halloween costumes, because this one has so good phrases and the voice on it is so good and he looks amazing. I hope they get this guy by this year. He's retailing for $199. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Now you come over here. I'm sure you taste much better when you're afraid. I'll be more than happy to help you find your way.
Alright guys, next up is the 7-foot animated spellcasting witch. And this one is also not my favorite prop, but it is pretty cool since the hand lunges out to you. I do really like that touch. This one to me is just not, I'm just not a big fan. As you guys know, I am not a big fan of witches. Like, witches to me are not that good. It has to be a really good witch, and this one to me is just not that good. I do like the eye in the witch's hand. That does add a little touch, and the light on it is so cool. I do a little bit like her because of the lunge, and she is 7 feet tall, which I didn't expect. I only expect her to be 5 foot, but to me, it's just alright. It's not like a mind-blowing prop to me. She will be retailing for $99, which is such a great price for her too. Again, so let's move on to the next animatronic.
Come further. Only if you dare, for when trees have swallowed the sun, your eyes can hardly believe what horrors they see. Standing many times the size of your average trick-or-treater, the massive 12.5-foot Inferno Deadwood skeleton has torn itself from its roots, and it's ready to tear into you. rich with realistic sculptural detail. Its knotty, posable arms twist and twine outward, reaching for something more than candy. Its jagged mouth and hollow chest ooze with bright color-changing LED light. Draw its attention, and two blinking, motion-activated eyes fix directly on you. He's rooted to the ground by a wide, sturdy base, ensuring he's dead and alive all season long. But do not expect an olive branch. This terrifying timber will snap you like a twig. The 12.5-foot Inferno Deadwood Skeleton. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, next up is the 12.5-foot Inferno Deadwood Skeleton. And this one is just... I don't know how to feel about this one because technically it is a reskin of the Pumpkin Inferno Skeleton from 2020. But this one is okay. It's not the best prop of, like this. It's okay to me. It's not the best. But, in my opinion, it is pretty cool. I do like Pumpkin Inferno way more than him. He is a little bit taller than him, but to me, it's just a reskin, and the colors do change on him, which does add a little bit of touch, but I do like Pumpkin Inferno way more. This guy will really... Alright guys, next up is the 12.5-foot Inferno Deadwood Skeleton. And this guy is okay to me. It is kind of a reskin of Pumpkin Inferno from 2021. This guy is just okay. It's not the best prop, but in my opinion, it is pretty cool looking. I do like Pumpkin Inferno way more, but in my opinion, it's okay. The color on him is pretty cool. You can color change, but it's not my favorite of the year. This guy will be retailing for $379. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Hell hath no fury like its favorite hound, the 7-foot Skelly's dog. Measuring 7 feet in length, this petrifying hooch is starving right down to the bone. In fact, it's nothing but bones. From the teeth of its posable jaw to the tip of its positionable tail, go to greet this massive mutt, and its realistic life eyes start to blink, changing color and shape, swirling, spinning, burning, bulging, and exploding inside its sizable skull. Always man's best friend, Dog is the dedicated companion to Skelly, our skyscraping signature scare. The two make a perfect pair, indoors and out, but think twice before you invite them in for a cider and snack. These gargantuan guests won't throw you any bones. They'll take yours. The 7-foot Skelly's dog. Only at the Home Depot.
Alright guys, next up is the 7-foot Skelly's dog. Now, to be clear, it is not 7 feet tall. Not to get that wrong. He's only like 3 or 4 feet tall, but he is 7 foot in length. So he's not 7 feet tall, he's 7 foot in length. But this guy is okay. I do like that 12-foot Skelly does have a pet now, which is pretty cool, I guess. The mouth, you can rotate the mouth any way you like. You can put it up, down, to your liking. It does have LED eyes, which is pretty cool, and the tail is posable to up and down. This guy was also in the half-foot Halloween drop. So was Deadwood Inferno. They were both in the Halloween drop from half-foot Halloween. But this guy he's okay to me. He's not like the best prop of all time. He's okay. I do like it because it's a dog, and we haven't really got like a lot of animal props. We only have gotten Bernardo the Bear and Monty lately. So this guy's pretty cool looking, and he'll be retailing for $199. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
The Plague Doctor didn't scare the life out of you? I know encountering Captain Cuts on the high seas will. To capture the essence of pirates of old, we made sure to include the greatest detail possible. His first mate, Parrot, helps him target every foe before his sword strikes down his enemies in battle. Inspired by last year's fan favorite, Lethal Lily the Witch, we modeled his facial movements after her, Pay special attention to how the servo motors move both the real eye and the skull and crossbones glass eye. These tiny motors capture the slightest movements to add to his realism. His eyebrows, beard, aged skin, and scars show how tough of a life our captain had on the seas. This piece has 5 lifelike movements, including a new swaying motion from his time on the water.
Here be another scallywag to join me crew.
Alright guys, next up is the 7-foot animated Captain Cuts. And this guy to me is one of my favorite props from this year too. This guy is just so unique in the animation. He has the same movement as Lethal Willy with the servo in his head and the eyes blinking and moving. So this guy to me is a really cool prop and a unique prop because we haven't really got a pirate lately in a couple years. So this guy is a really cool prop to put in the Home Depot lineup he has hand movement, body movement, head movement, eye movement, blinking movement, and mouth movement. I do really like this guy. I may be picking him up this year, I do not know, but he will be retailing for $249. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
Fully explored the fearsome foes of the 16th century. Let's travel a few hundred years and see what the 19th century holds for our Halloween fans this year. Our inspiration for the next 3 characters comes from the scariest things lost travelers may have encountered deep within a European forest. First, we have the 9-foot tall, fully molded murderous maple. With integrated color change LED lights, no attention to detail was missed on this piece. Whether you want a constant change of color, pick your favorite one to cast an eerie glow, the lights really accentuate the details our team put into the murderous maple. If you look closely, you may see some lost traveler souls trying to escape through the cursed bark.
Alright guys, next up is the 9-foot murderous maple. And this guy is pretty cool for a static prop. I do really like this guy a lot. The detail on him is so good. The colors in his face and eyes just make this prop look so good and so alive. The leaves on him, the mold, the grass, the wood, the drip of the cloth makes this prop so cool and so unique for this year. I love tree props, haunted tree props. I like the way they look and the creepiness of their faces and their mouths. I just love trees in haunted form, and this prop is really cool for a static this year. This guy will be retailing for $249. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
This is our Fear Valley Wolf. The Fear Valley Wolf incorporates our newest movement to be brought to market. We have utilized servo motors to replicate the snarling of a real wolf. As he gets angry, his lips lift to expose his teeth. His ears move back and forth, and his tail moves to show you that he means business. The exposed flesh amongst his thick black fur are battle scars from defending his top spot as the leader of the pack.
Alright guys, next up is the 5.5-foot animated Fear Valley Wolf. Sorry about that. This guy is a-okay prop. We have another animal prop this year, so that's pretty cool. This one is a wolf instead of a dog. Still the same thing though. But the movement on him is actually pretty unique. The ears move back, the mouth moves up. When he growls at you, the tail wags. He looks pretty cool, and the design of him is pretty cool when the scars are like on the side of him, and the glowing eyes make this prop look really, really cool. I do like this guy a lot. I like how they added the scars with him when he was in battle. This guy is pretty cool. This guy will be retailing for $199. Let's move on to the next animatronic.
This is Jack of Spades. Jack was definitely influenced by a classic mobster vibe. We gave the skeleton a golden color to make him stand out from the other guests at Dean's Bar. Make sure you study him closely for all the unique details incorporated into him. He has a lit cigar and a glass of bourbon that he raises to his mouth, a skull ring, and even an unlucky dead man's hand. What is really unique and innovative about this piece is customers can choose to have Jack standing, or they can use the included base to have him seated at a bar or their very own poker table.
Alright, next up is the 6.5-foot animated Jack of Spades. And this guy is another one of my favorite animatronics from the Home Depot lineup. I love skeletons, and the gold look on him makes him look so cool. The red eyes really do add character to this guy. The hat, I like how he's like a gangster skeleton, and he's part of Dean the Deathologist's like little set. So I do really like this guy a lot. I like the cards in his hand. He has the drink, he has the cigar. This guy is really, really cool, and the unique thing about him is you can have him standing up or sitting down, which is a really cool touch to this prop. I really do like that. I like this guy a lot. I don't know if I'll be able to get this guy this year. I really do like him a lot, though. I don't know if I'll be able to get him. But this guy is retailing for $149. Let's move on to the last animatronic.
Is our Soul Slasher. This piece is the perfect partner for our Sitter of the Souls from last year's Deadwater collection. The Soul Slasher is an imposing 6.5 feet high. I love his arm movement and how he calls out his next victim. His haunting voice is a perfect fit to his frightening look.
What do we have here?
Alright guys, and our last prop from the Home Depot lineup is the 6.5-foot animated Soul Slasher. And this guy is so unique to me and so cool to me. I love the name Soul Slasher. It gives me such a cool name for an animatronic. It just sounds so cool. I love the look on him. I love how he's like a scarecrow, and he is part of the Sitter of Souls. Like, I guess he's like our dad or something. I don't know, but he's part of that set. And this guy, I just love the way he looks. The moon on him is so good. The finger point at you, making you his next victim to kill, makes it so unique and so cool. I love the hook on him. The hat makes it so cool. The eyes and the face detail. That face and the mouth looks so cool. This guy is such a unique prop. And he'll be retailing for $99, which is such an amazing price for this guy. I love that so much. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next spooky video. Goodbye.